Today we have Andy and Jean Anderson with us. They're the parents of Taylor Anderson, one of the two Americans who died in the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. And they've set up the Taylor Anderson Fund, which provides, well, I'll let Andy talk about it a little bit later, but they're one of the sponsored charities that we have for this year's charity ball. So I'm going to ask Andy, Jean, what happened? Why was Taylor in Tohoku?
She'd grown up with an interest in Japan and had always wanted to go there, and did in college, and did a lot of different things that just made her get more and more interested, so that by the time she was graduating from college, the only job she wanted to have was to be a jet. So that was her dream come true, and she came to Japan in 2008.
The earthquake and tsunami was really very traumatic for everybody. I mean, we felt it very strongly here in Tokyo, and the American Chamber got together afterwards, and out of our chamber, I think we collected about 55 million yen, and through our parent companies and other affiliate companies that we represent here, the amounts were several hundred million yen that went to charities supporting relief and recovery in Tohoku. Specifically, the Taylor Anderson Fund, what was the genesis of that? What are you trying to do?
Well, we always felt like when Taylor was missing, she was missing 10 days before we knew that she passed away. But we felt like she would want to stay and help her community. A lot of the Jets did. Mm-hmm. So we talked about not knowing, even before knowing, we wonder if she's helping somewhere. And if she, was to pass away, that we felt like she'd want us to do something to help the students, schools, families recover in the Shinomaki area. And then the other part of it was that she really wanted to be a bridge between our two countries. Mm-hmm. So that's what we basically founded the fund to do, is to help the students, schools, families recover, plus be a bridge between their two countries.
I think the idea of the reading corners in schools in the area to perhaps, I guess the books are mostly in Japanese, but there's some English books and books about the United States and maybe the relationship. It's a great idea. Tell me a little bit about Endo-san, the carpenter who you work with.
Well, it's interesting how he got involved. Basically, Jean and Mrs. Fujisaki, about a month after it was 1 month after we were up at the National Prayer Day for Japan up in Washington. And Jean and Mrs. Fujisaki were talking about how much Taylor loved to read. Mm. And that was where the idea started. Okay. Of we could have Taylor reading corners. And Mrs. Fujisaki got in touch with Toro Takanrita, who had been a reporter in Shinomaki. Okay. And he knew Endo-san. He didn't know Endo-san had lost his 3 children. Ooh. Yeah. Takanrita-san contacted him to see if he would be interested in building the bookshelves. Okay. So that's how that started.
Wow.
And as time went on, Endo-san figured out that Taylor was taught 2 of his children. Oh. So there was a full circle connection there.
That's great.
Yeah, and his children had talked to him about Taylor.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great.
Yep. About how much fun she was and how much energy she had. And they looked forward to her
right
coming to their class.
Yeah. The Taylor Anderson Fund is one of the sponsored charities for the 2014 ACCJ Charity Ball. Mm-hmm. And based on the results of tonight and the giving and buying of raffles and all kinds of things that are going to go on, that we will have money to donate to the Taylor Anderson Fund. What can you tell us as ACCJ members? What are you planning to do with the money? We hope it's more than $1 million yen.
That'd be wonderful. We've got a lot of different programs. We do a scholarship program for students to go to school at the Sendai YMCA College. We've got exchange programs, which we'd like to see go on for years. Mm-hmm. And then we've got a lot of grassroots programs where we work with local volunteers and ask them to give us proposals. We had a board meeting this past week, and looked at all those. We had 23 different proposals. We looked at all those and decided on some. And a lot of them are really going to help those grassroots volunteer people who are actually in, small little communities within Ishinomaki that have been hit hard. So really trying to help them build back up their community, because that's what they're trying to do, is put their community back together. And we're doing things like starting reading groups, which comes right out of the Taylor Anderson, the reading corners, and was something she loved to do too. And then we support a lot of mothers who go to the schools and read, where they can buy books. We'll give them a grant. Basically, they can buy books and then read them at the schools.
Oh, to the students.
To the students.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we met like 15 of them this past Tuesday. It was quite special. They've been reading in those schools for years, and now we're supporting them by books, etc. So they're getting more active.
That's great.
A lot of them knew Taylor too. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, she worked in a number of different schools, and I guess that's not unusual for the jet to move around to several different schools during the course of a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that does give you more exposure, I guess, to the community and to the kids that you're working with.
Yeah, she was in 7 schools.
She loved her community. She was always going to a festival. She was. It was her town. It was her place, and she was very involved in whatever was going on locally.
So the Taylor Anderson Fund is set up. It's got a board that's made up of Americans and Japanese. Ambassador Fujisaki is a co-chair with you, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And since he's also president of the Japan American Society, he will be getting that organization involved, I'm sure. What can we do about supporting? How do we find Taylor Anderson Fund if we want to donate as individuals?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've got a website. It's www.taylorandersonmemorialfund.org.
Okay.
And it tells you how to donate right on the website.
Well, super.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much for coming to our event. We're very pleased to support you this year, and we look forward to hearing more about the activities of your fund in the future.
Thank you.
for having
Thank you very much.